All right. So before we get into anything, we have Joel here from GTX Comics. Thank you for joining us at the Comics Lounge. We are so excited to have you tonight, and we are here to talk about the God of Light and who it might be. Who is Donny Cates going to bring in? Is he going to retcon? Is he going to do a whole new character? What are your thoughts?
Yeah, awesome. Well, yeah, thank you for having me. Glad to be here. I think when it comes to like God of Light, that there was essentially at the beginning three possibilities. Um, Sentry was the one everyone thought initially, right? Which I think I personally think that that's not going to happen because Sentry was ripped in half in King of Black #1, and there's really no coming back from that. At least not right now.
The Valkyries are looking for him, so who knows?
Yes, the Valkyries are. Yeah, I saw something talking about that. But so then I think the second one could possibly be. I thought originally was Dylan.
Okay.
But it seems like obviously from this most recent King in Black, that Dylan has some kind of tie-in with it. And then thirdly, I thought it was going to be the third option. I thought possibly was just introducing a completely new character.
Okay.
I know Donny Cates has retcon stuff in the past and gone back and changed things. I think it's still possible that it's a completely new character. I mean, maybe that's what this whole thing has been building up to, some, ultimate opposite that
For sure.
Donny's thought up, 2 years ago when he first brought Nolan, or 3 years ago, whatever it was. So I think those are some possibilities for sure. And then obviously we know that Silver Surfer knows who it is.
Yeah.
And he's like probably his herald in a way, now that Galactus is dead and everything. So, yeah.
Based on what we've seen in this image, pretty much it looks to be like he's the herald of or the herald of whoever the God of Light is.
Yeah.
And it also seems like Thor knows as well, because
Yes.
Thor knew to send the crows after the Silver Surfer to let him know that he was needed right then and there. And clearly he has some idea.
Some idea, yeah. Some understanding of who. And I think that was another theory I saw, that they think there's some Asgardian character that I'm not 100% familiar with that they think might be the God of Light. But whoever it is, I mean, I don't know if it would be an Asgardian, because that would mean that they're potentially more powerful than Thor, because Thor is the king of Asgard, right? And that doesn't seem super likely to me. But maybe it's something that Thor figured out in his own series that Donny Cates is writing. Maybe it's just something we haven't seen yet, because obviously
Possibly
he escaped from the Donald Blake prison, or this was before that, or where does this? Because he's not in the in the last issue of Thor, he got trapped with the World Serpent and stuff in there, or what was left of the World Serpent. And then you have him now, fighting Null in this most recent issue. So kind of wondering where it's going to go with that. I think that series is going to tie in somehow, because he already tied in, right, the God Thor, God of Thunder run, the Jason Aaron run, into the Venom stuff and the King in Black and everything. So I mean, he could, wouldn't surprise me if he did something like that.
And going off of that, so I also saw that some people were thinking that it might be the Golden Gods from that Jason Aaron run.
Oh,
what do you
yeah,
think of that?
yeah. I mean, it could be possible, right? We did see one of those gods was obviously able to take Null down somewhat.
Yeah.
But obviously, I mean, it could be. I mean, unless Null killed them all, which we wouldn't know right yet. It is possible though, because we did see one of them was able to wound Null pretty fatally enough to where he lost his sword to Gore and everything. So it's definitely, I think that could be a possibility, and that would still be in a sense a new character. I think would fall under that third possibility.
For sure, and I mean, that's probably one of the best ways to go about it, is someone who's kind of been introduced, but doesn't really have a story yet.
Yeah.
They can kind of build it up, but at the same time, to do that and have them come back for just the reason of defeating Null kind of seems like they're wasting those characters. And Donny Cates doesn't seem like one to waste a character.
Yeah.
Like Black Winter going off into a Snowflake, it seems like there's something more there. Just like with a lot of these other Golden Gods, and other characters that Donny Cates has started to introduce, that seem like he's going to go somewhere else with them, off in the realm of a big bad, or even if they're not a big bad, just someone who will bring some sense of understanding to what's going on.
Yeah. I think that's definitely, obviously, yeah, you're right. Donnie is the type to waste a character or anything. I think he has said that, Black Winter is coming back. Like, he's definitely not done with Black Winter. And I think it is possible that either he brings these characters in and then kind of leaves them for like the next writer to do something with, on if someone picks up Venom after this issue 200 that he's ending it on, or something like that. Or maybe, I know the other thing they did mention in this last issue, King of Black, is that it is somehow connected to Dylan.
Yeah.
Right. So, I mean, we know that. And I didn't read a lot of the Dylan's one-shots, the tie-ins for the Venom run. I stuck I've been sticking to like the main storyline and everything.
Same here.
But obviously, something's up with Dylan in the other universe, that they had just come back from in Venom Beyond. He was basically, it seemed to me that he was Noel's host, right? Because he was the center of the hive mind. So maybe there's something like that. Maybe Dylan's like caught in the middle between Noel and this God of Light, and they're kind of fighting over him. Ultimately, is what it could be.
I mean, we kind of saw that with the whole Codex Dylan vibe of that Venom Beyond, and them kind of being the opposites of each other. So it kind of seems like they're both, like you said, one's on one side, one's on the other, and he's kind of stuck between the middle.
I think that's definitely a possibility. I honestly thought that they were either going to kill Dylan or Eddie, like going into this, but now I'm thinking that's less of a possibility. I mean, you never know if Venom's ending on, in 3 issues or 2 issues or whatever. So it's definitely a possibility. I guess we'll see. But yeah, I think it's definitely going to be tied to Dylan, because I pretty much have blatantly said that. I think possibilities, if someone went back and really like went through Silver Surfer Black with like a fine-tooth comb, they might be able to find something. Because he has been pulling a lot from that. I said that that's not the first Noel. I know that was kind of like an area of discussion for a lot of folks. But a lot of it, that's kind of where this whole cosmic run for him started, right? Was at this, it went from, Silver Surfer Black to Guardians of the Galaxy, and it's just kind of progressed its way through. So, I mean, I guess we'll see in there, and it could be something in there, in that Silver Surfer Black.
For sure.
Run.
And I mean, I'm kind of hoping that it's this brand new character that we haven't met that is going to kind of take over some new realm that we haven't seen in Marvel. I think that would be the best way to kind of end King in Black, is to just start something totally brand new, something that's never even been thought of, that's obviously not easy to do. It's not something that would be insanely unheard of. And I also don't think that it's something that Donny Cates can't do. I think that when Donny Cates puts his mind to it, being the giant Thor Venom nerd that he is, I think we will see something really cool out of him. I think it's going to be amazing, to say the least.
Yeah, I definitely would not put it past Donny. I'd like to think of him almost as like a George Lucas when it comes to comic books. Lucas created this huge world, and he does that with all of his movies. He creates these huge sprawling narratives, and then just kind of fills them up with all this information for other people to kind of take and make their own. And Donny kind of does the same thing, right? He's created this huge sprawling thing. He took Venom from like a street level hero to a bona fide cosmic, connected person, and completely changed Venom and made him the center in a lot of ways in the Marvel universe right now.
For sure.
And I definitely could see him doing something like creating a whole new, now, maybe it's going to be where the Celestials came from, or, some other cosmic entity being, is connected to it somehow. That would not surprise me in the slightest. I mean, I was tempted reading this last issue. Donny Cates actually follows me I got him to follow me on Instagram, using public peer pressure. I had all of my followers tag him until he followed me. But I haven't abused that networking connection yet to get answers for upcoming
Let's
books
get
yet.
him on here.
Right? I think Donny, let us know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I definitely, like I said, because he's definitely one of those writers who really can create these big kind of sprawling narratives with lots of things for other writers to pick up and run with. So I definitely could see him doing that, and changing it up. And then, like I said, we're probably going to get the backstory in Thor issue number 12 or 11, whatever it is that's coming out next. I think we're going to see it start there and then end in King in Black. When the event ends.
Prey is over. Is that?
I think that we're in the middle of that arc.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Yeah,
because it was going to be a 5 or 6 issue.
Yeah, because I think we're only on the second or third one. And obviously, like I said, Thor obviously escapes from Donald Duck prison. That's the same Thor that we were seeing. He has the same cosmic kind of look to him, Herald look with the, his changed up costume and everything. So I think he's going to tie it together in that way, and we'll see what happens.
So the other one I saw that was very interesting to see as a possible one, but based on what I saw in his last comic, was Star-Lord. Because, and the whole idea that from the theory that was going around was possibly based on Silver Surfer Black. Silver Surfer at one point was the Herald of Ego. And obviously, Donny Cates wrote Guardians of the Galaxy not too long ago. And Star-Lord is the son of Ego. So if we kind of go that route, what could you see him now being that god of light?
Who, Peter Quill?
Yeah.
Star-Lord? I mean, possibly. I mean, I said, yeah, obviously, Herald, he was some kind of Herald of Ego and everything. I think it's possible. I don't really see him retconning a character like Star-Lord, especially when, I haven't read any of the recent Guardians run. The last Guardians the last run of Guardians I read was the Donny Cates Guardian story. So, I mean, and obviously it's a possibility if we have that connection with Silver Surfer knows who it is, Thor knows who it is, knows that Silver Surfer knows, right? It could be, but I still think my money is on the new character being brought in versus a retconning an existing character like Star-Lord. And I think that would,
I think that would take it too far back almost. It would be at the point where it would just kind of be over the top retconning and not worth it in some sense. But thank you. That was awesome. Yeah. I love hearing your thoughts on this. I can't wait to find out. We find out this month, obviously. I think it's toward the end of the month. And I would love to see if at least some of our ideas are correct in theories and whatnot, and then get you back on after it comes out, and we can kind of talk about it then and see who it is and where they could take it from there.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, no, I definitely would. I'm excited to see as well, too. Donnie definitely knows how to leave you on the edge of your seat and kind of just leave you there with some of these cliffhangers he's left us on recently for all this stuff that he's writing. Definitely leaves us on a lot of cliffhangers, and it'll be good to get some answers from him.
Yeah, that would be amazing. And I mean, based on what we're seeing coming out with Venom 200,
right,
heavy as the head. I mean, that kind of alludes to Venom becoming something much bigger than he's ever been before, like you said. Yeah. So it would be amazing to see all of this kind of culminate into something massive. And I mean, if I would have told you 4 or 5 years ago, the biggest book out there for Marvel and one of the hottest sellers is going to be Venom, would you have believed me?
Probably not. Probably not. Venom was a pretty deep cut character for a while. I mean, he's always been really popular, but I never would have thought, because I grew up reading, the Venom Lethal Protector series, and where he gets sent to the alternate future and everything. And he was always just kind of like a street level hero,
Exactly.
More of a, aligned with like a Spider-Man type stories and everything. Doesn't really tap into the cosmic stuff too much. And then for him to be where he's at now is pretty insane. So it's pretty crazy to see how far Donnie has taken his character. So
definitely, it was a pleasure to have you on. I hope.
Thank you. It was a pleasure to be here. Thank you. You too, boss. Thank you for having me. All right.
Have a good one, Joel.
You too, boss. All right.
All right. So before I head out, I have a quick announcement to make. You guys did it. You made it to 100 views on our last live stream in under 24 hours. So I am going to be giving away this book. All you have to do is comment before 3 p.m. on Wednesday, February 3rd. So leave a comment. Let us know that you want this book in your collection. The other thing that you could win is, and I'm going to have to go over here to show you, any pop that you would like from my local comic shop. So I'm going to go to my local comic shop. I'm going to look at a wall that's a lot bigger than this of pops. And you guys are going to pick, the one lucky winner is going to pick. So again, I'm going to be sending you a message at 3 p.m. on Wednesday. And at 3 p.m. on Wednesday, you will have either won this or the chance to pick out a pop, and I send it off to you free of charge to you, whatever pop you want, the $10 pops, and that is our 300 subscriber giveaway. Thank you, everyone who helped us reach that giant milestone. I honestly didn't believe we'd be able to achieve 300 this quickly. It's been just over 6 months since we created the Comics Lounge. Myself, Caleb, Gary, and we are Vernon, John. We are so happy that it's been able to rise up this way. And I hope that you guys enjoy watching as much as we enjoy making these videos. Again, thank you to GTX Comics. Go check him out on Instagram. And last but not least, thank you for lounging with us.